Hello. In this video, we try to understand that when casting operation of an object into some type can result into a compile time versus a runtime exception. So here we have a very simple implementation. We have an interface polygon and we have rectangle which implements polygon. In the constructor of rectangle, we are doing a sysout and it says works. In the test class we have this a rectangle instance of a rectangle, and we are trying to cast it into polygon. Now because a rectangle implements polygon, an instance of rectangle can be casted into compile time, so this should not result into any error, and this is very clear. This almost everybody knows it. Now, let's try to add certain twist to it. Here, let's try to let's make rectangle not implement polygon and then try to see what happens. This result into class cast exception. Here you can see that we have this java.lang.class cast exception. But why? The reason is very simple again. Here it tries to find whether it tries to see that whether I can convert this rectangle into a polygon, and because this rectangle does not implement polygon, so it says sorry, I cannot. But the problem here is why at runtime it finds and it is not able to find the same that at compile time, because we can very well see that rectangle does not implement polygon, right? Anybody who knows a little bit of Java will say that this should result in an exception. But why runtime exception? If I know that, if you know that, why compiler so dumb? Is Java compiler so dumb that it is not able to understand this rectangle does not implement polygon and it should give a compile time exception? But unfortunately, this is the case. We see that at runtime it does not say, I mean, at compile time we are not getting any error in the IDE, but at runtime we are getting this. When we run this, for example, let's run it again. Yeah, bingo. We see that we have an error. So not why such thing happens. Now to understand this, let's try to see why such thing can happen. But let's try to twist it a bit, or let's try to say that we will try to now understand why. So let's say we are creating a class ABC, and this class extends rectangle, okay, but it does not only extends rectangle but also it implements polygon. Now let's try to create an instance of ABC. Okay, now you see here that there is a class which is a rectangle as well as polygon. This is the twist. Now if you run this, what do you expect? This should run fine, or there should be an error? This should run fine, right? Okay, this runs fine, but why? Because can we cast R into the first of all, can I mean all can I mean will the ABC object will be of type rectangle? Yes. Why? Because ABC extends rectangle. Perfect. Now any object of ABC will also be a polygon. So because of this, it extends rectangle and it implements polygon. So any ABC is also a rectangle and also a polygon, and hence it works. And because compiler cannot at compile time find that whatever you are passing this to a reference type rectangle, it does not know exactly what object you are passing, right? It cannot guess that are you passing an object of ABC. At compile time it does not know, so it defers this decision to runtime. and hence we get runtime exception. I believe that this should be very clear at this moment, that why such things happen. Because at compile time it does not know what object this R is, and it will know only at runtime. So it defers this decision, and at runtime, because at runtime it knows very sure, it knows because it has a hold of object. So it says I am a runtime exception. Okay. Now to add a more twist to it and make it very sure that you understand this. If I add final here, okay, now you see you are getting here a compile time exception. Why? Because now if rectangle is final, that only means, okay, here you will see that you will get an error which is clear because we are saying that it is final, so you cannot extend it. So now our compiler is very much sure that there is no class, there is no subtype which will be, or no subclass which will extend rectangle, and hence there can be no object of rectangle which will be a polygon. Now compiler, because compiler is 100% sure, so it says compile time exception. So this class cast exception is a runtime exception, but this is detected at compile time here, and it says that in convertible types. So this does not result into an exception because we are not running it yet. It at compile time it is able to find compiler is intelligent. So now you know why. I mean, compiler is not dumb. Java compiler is not dumb. It is intelligent, but it needs sufficient information from the developer to confirm that. Here by giving final it is confirmed that the intention is very clear now. Let's add a more twist to it. What if it is a sealed class, right, and it has a permits clause? So if these things are there, then how does it behave, right? So this is also very easy to understand, but I am not covering this in this video. I hope you have understood the reason why. You don't need to remember and mug it up, and then after some time you will keep forgetting things. If you understand things in this way, in logical way, if you have a proper reasoning, then it will last long. So try to understand things. I hope you have understood it. If not, then please comment your questions why, and I will try to address that in the subsequent video. Thank you.